Se estrenó Oxígeno de Alexandre Aja en Netflix y hablé con su director de fotografía, con Maxime Alexandre, con quien ya conversé en más de una oportunidad. Por ejemplo, pueden ver el video sobre Kroll, también de Alexandre Aja. En este caso, hablamos del desafío de hacer una película de suspenso que transcurre casi en su totalidad en un espacio tan chiquito como una cápsula en la que no sabemos qué está pasando. Además, conversamos sobre una de las escenas más impactantes en donde Melanie y Laurent quedó rodeada de ratas. Todo esto en este informe sobre Oxígeno.
We now return to Mira Akien and Contré with our latest interview.
We were in the middle of the pandemic when we shot it in Paris. When you prep a scene, you have what we call a stand-in. It's someone that physically look like the actors, and then you prepare the lights, you prepare the movements, and whatever you need to do before to call the cast. In our in Oxygen, every time we had a stand-in coming in, and then we knew. I mean, you know, when you're organizing yourself like minutes by minutes, blah, 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 you knew that every time we would have to wait in between 5 and 10 minutes because the stand-ins walk out of the pod. The COVID team needed to clean the pod. When Melanie would get into it, cut, moving on, Melanie moves, you have to clean it before the stand-in because rules applies for both of them, right? Even if you're not claustrophobic, being in that box for I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes nonstop, sometimes more, you get nervous.
Yeah.
She's been absolutely amazing.
Pourquoi je me souviens de rien?
Je suis Milo.
But she's been really extremely cooperative because she stood there for a long time. Usually you get your shot, everything is perfect, call the cast, put it on in, shoot the scene, and then they move it. Here it was much, much more complicated because we moved in one little box with the camera as much as you would do in a soccer game. And it's not just about moving, it's about enhance in image, the storytelling about whatever is happening. And you don't want to repeat yourself. You don't want to, and it's a constant enhancement. So 85% of the shot are shot on Technocrane. Technocrane is an enormous item, telescopic crane. And we shot a lot with something called boroscope. Boroscope is an extension of long lens, straight. And then you have the periscope, which is the one that the submarine one. And in order to be able to get into the pod and move a lot. And so everything was extremely precise. And though Melanie had to stay on the box relatively long times.
Yeah.
Every time that we were focused in one angle, we took off as much as possible pieces outside for makeup to be able to get there, to reset, for tons of reasons, and also light, because it looks like at the end it's the box lit by themselves. It was just huge because thinking about having a big machine in front of your face, and that big machine doesn't have to do shadows on your face.
Yeah.
Right. And you are in between 35 centimeters in between the glass dome, Milo, and our face. So the box was constantly open as much as possible. And yeah, I mean, she went through an hard time, but she's been absolutely teamwork.
Milo, déverrouillage.
Je ne suis pas en mesure d'accéder à cette requête pour le moment.
Milo, s'il te plaît, je t'en supplie.
Je ne suis pas en mesure d'accéder à cette requête.
On the first approach of the movie, when I read it, I said, oof, that's going to be that's going to be tough because it's how are we going to entertaining the audience for 1 hour and a half? And when you read the pages, yes, the story is exciting, but it's difficult to imagine how you can grab the people onto the image aspect. I'm not talking about Melanie or the actor. So basically, the first request from Alexandre Aja was, Maxime, test everything that you've been shooting in the last 20 years. I want to see everything. You have new ideas, you have crazy ideas. We have to test everything. And we did it. We tested everything. We shot with the most, my favorite, most modern lenses, to old lenses, to photographic lenses, to 3D access remote heads, techno cranes, even the Cinefade, an item I think we spoke about on another movie, which is a new item that permits you to vary the depth of field as you're shooting. And we use something that in French is called mirrorlage. It's kind of a very soft mirror. The pod was surrounded by mirrors, 2 meters by 1. And in order to be able to angle everywhere, because Milo is projected. It's not a visual effect. It's for real. It's back projection. So in order to get the right size and not to cross the camera when we're crossing around her, when we're moving around her, every time the projector was shooting towards a mirror and in the opposite direction where the camera was. So we would never cross the projection, if I may say, of Milo. We had several rooms for everything. Like, for example, all the monitors were 25 different sources of computers to constantly go into the sync with the storytelling.
Avertissement, niveau d'oxygène à 35%.
It was extremely, there is not one shot that looks like the one previous.
Yeah.
And everything was orchestrated, if I may say, by Alex. Alex had, he's my best friend. We did like gazillions of movies together as producers, director, and he never stops me to surprise me. Alex went extremely far on his imagination of this. Of course, we tested, and I brought items, I brought ideas, and blah, blah, blah. But he had just like thinking about the fact that you have a start of establishing, but not too much, not too fast. And then we have movement. We created basically 2 rooms in between the feet in the end of the pod and the top with Milo. But then everything changed when she started to remember everything. You turning 360 degrees for 2 minutes and a half. You're not sick. You're just telling the story. You just have a moment of goosebumps. Say, what the hell is going to happen now?
Yeah.
And you feel the claustrophobia, but you keep moving and not distracting. You keep tell the story. It was gigantic. I'm going to send you aside some photos of the set.
Yeah.
It was absolutely. We had 2 pods, one for all the top shots that could you had pieces that you could take off. And then the other one was a pod in another stage. All the stages were connected in another stage that could incline until 30% with just half of the bottom. So basically, camera could be over shoulder shooting on Milo, right? Yeah. And profile shot like this. Funny enough, the most difficult one was like being able to do a transition from left to right under her head without selling the fact that you're basically with 3 tons of equipment outside of the stage, basically.
Niveau d'oxygène critique.
So they were real because these
Oh yeah, hell yeah. It was the last shot of the movie, so very emotional for everybody. And Melanie's son was there. Alex has been constantly talking into an earplug hidden into Melanie's ear. So that day, last day of shooting, emotional, stress, whatever, everybody's happy. She came with her son, and Alex gave to the boy the mic to talk to her mother, not in the earplug, but on the stage. Melanie was absolutely freaked out. She had protections for the legs because those mouse are not mean at all, but they have little nails like this. Then when roll camera, So we blocked the bottom of the things, roll camera, and the guys start to arrive with buckets high, like this, like 16 centimeters high, full of rice, and start to put them there.
Vous êtes qui? Pourquoi vous me faites ça? Pourquoi vous me faites ça? Trop tard, ils sont là.
And she started to scream and cry for real. And the child next to me, the little boy, Mom, this is awesome. Keep going. This is wow, mom, I want to come too. And this is awesome. She was crying, screaming, and then it was also ugly because the rats get scared, so they do other things, and then it starts to smell like terrible, and then they start to overflow the pod. So you have the people dragging for the rat, putting back on the buckets, and then again, let's go. And Alex, go, more. It was like the l'apoteosi, probably the last shot of the movie. It wasn't long, probably the longest scene on her career. It felt like. I think we went for, I may say, like something like really clockwise, maybe less than 10 minutes, 5 minutes, between 5 and 10 minutes, something like this. And you have the camera that's easy.
Niveau d'oxygène approchant du seuil critique.